Hello guys, welcome to the movie recap review. Happy watching.
Dos. Por favor, no me busques y no me odies.
¡Adrián! ¡Adrián, estoy aquí!
The movie begins with Adrien, an orchestra conductor, receiving a video message from his girlfriend, Belen. In the message, Belen tells him she still loves him, but can no longer be with him, and asks him not to come after her. Heartbroken, Adrien goes to a bar to drink and forget. He gets so drunk that he ends up in a parking lot fight with a random man. The man's girlfriend intervenes and leaves, while Fabiana, the bartender, helps Adrien and offers to call him a taxi. He declines, so she takes him to her house instead. On the way, they have fun as Adrien pretends to conduct music playing on the car radio. Their good mood continues at her place. The next morning, Adrien wakes up confused about where he is. Fabiana asks why he was so upset the previous night, but Adrien doesn't answer. He quickly drinks his coffee and leaves without saying goodbye. Later, Adrien tries to teach a class, but is too distracted to focus, cutting it short. That night, he returns to the bar to apologize to Fabiana for leaving abruptly. She forgives him, and to make it up to her, Adrien invites her to the theater where he works. They connect and soon start a romantic relationship. One morning, after spending the night at Adrien's mansion, Fabiana wakes up early and hears strange noises coming from the bathroom drain. Curious, she explores the house and finds shoe design sketches on a table, clearly belonging to someone else. Adrien catches her looking at the drawings and distracts her by inviting her to breakfast. Over their meal outside, Fabiana asks why he lives so far from the city. Adrien explains that he needs the peace and quiet for his creativity. Their breakfast is interrupted by two detectives, Francesco and Bernardo, who are investigating the disappearance of Adrien's ex-girlfriend, Belen. She vanished without a trace, and Adrien is their prime suspect. The detectives question him and search the house, but Adrien shows them Belen's old workstation as evidence of her departure. The detectives search Adrien's garden, frustrating him because he feels they suspect him of killing Belen and burying her there. Adrien believes Belen simply ran away with another man to start a new life. He tells Fabiana he tried contacting Belen's family but got no response. That night, while Adrien plays the piano, Fabiana invites him to bed. As she takes a bath, she hears strange noises from the drain and notices the water moving, even though she's completely still. Panicked, she jumps out and runs to Adrien. The lights suddenly go out due to a lightning strike, but Adrien calms her, explaining that this always happens during storms. They're about to get intimate when Fabiana asks Adrien to remove the dog from the room because it's bothering her. The next night, while working, Fabiana talks to Bernardo, one of the detectives who had visited the mansion. Bernardo finds it suspicious that Fabiana and Adrien started dating so soon after Belen's disappearance. Fabiana defends Adrien, insisting Belen left on her own and that Adrien had nothing to do with it. We also learn that Bernardo and Fabiana used to date. Adrien has a big concert where he introduces Fabiana to the orchestra manager, Tito. Tito mentions they'll never forget Adrien, hinting that Adrien plans to leave his job soon. Later, while Fabiana showers, the water suddenly turns scalding hot, burning her skin. As she checks the burn in the mirror, she hears the strange noise again from the bathroom sink. Already on edge, she is startled by Hans, the dog. Exploring Adrien's bedroom, Fabiana accidentally finds a hidden key in the floor. Curious, she wears it as a necklace. During another storm, the lights go out again, leaving Fabiana convinced someone else is in the house. She searches the mansion, but is startled by Hans once more. She trips over the piano chair, hits her head, and faints. Adrien finds her, gives her painkillers, and reassures her that she's safe. Fabiana confesses she feels uneasy being alone in the house. Adrien dismisses her fears, blaming the power outages and the dog's behavior for her anxiety. When she shares her theory that the house is haunted, Adrien laughs it off, insisting the noises are just the wind in the pipes. Adrien gets a call from one of the detectives, who informs him that they've found a body resembling Belen and asks him to identify it. At the morgue, Adrien views the body of a young woman but tells the detectives it isn't Belen, despite the pathologist saying it's impossible to confirm because the body is badly burned. When Adrien returns home, he hears Fabiana upstairs saying, "Sorry," to someone. He confronts her, asking who she was talking to. Fabiana claims she was just looking for a book and avoids answering directly. Adrien reassures her that Belen is no longer a part of his life. As they hug, the camera shows Belen's ghostly reflection in the mirror. A flashback reveals Adrien and Belen biking together at sunset. Later, during a cozy dinner at home, Adrien shares that he's gotten his dream job in Bogota, but it requires him to leave in 15 days for a year. He asks Belen to move to Bogota with him. Though hesitant, Belen agrees. In Bogota, Adrien performs for the first time, and Belen is impressed by his talent. After the concert, she searches for him and finds him talking privately with a violinist named Veronica, sparking her suspicions of an affair. They rent a secluded house from a German woman who is moving to Berlin. The owner insists they care for her dog, Hans, as part of the arrangement. Adrien and Belen settle into the mansion and enjoy their first days there. However, Belen's doubts resurface when she catches Adrien and Veronica having a private conversation with whiskey in his office. Later, while Adrien is showering, Belen checks his phone and finds messages and calls between him and Veronica. Furious, she confronts Adrien about the texts. Adrien admits he has been flirting with Veronica, but insists nothing more happened. Belen demands he fire Veronica from the orchestra, but Adrien refuses and leaves for work. Feeling hurt and insecure, Belen speaks with the German woman, confiding her fears about Adrien's feelings. The woman suggests testing Adrien's love by pretending to disappear. She shows Belen a secret hidden room in the mansion, originally built to hide her husband. The room is completely soundproof, has a one-way mirror to see outside, and includes a speaker to listen in on conversations. Before leaving for Berlin, the German woman tells Belen she'll call once she arrives. On the German woman's suggestion, Belen decides to record a goodbye video and hide in the secret room to see how Adrien reacts to her disappearance. While packing her belongings to make the story convincing, Adrien unexpectedly comes home. In her hurry to hide, she drops the key to the shelter into a vent without noticing. She locks herself inside the room and watches Adrien's reaction to the video. Initially, she feels satisfied because he appears heartbroken. However, when she tries to leave the room to reunite with Adrien, she realizes she doesn't have the key and is trapped. She screams and bangs on the glass, but the room is completely soundproof, so Adrien cannot hear her. Her phone has no signal inside the shelter, and none of the house's spare keys work to unlock the door. Desperate, she tries smashing the glass with a chair, but it doesn't budge. Meanwhile, Adrien takes the video Belen left to the police, hoping to figure out where she went. Inside the room, Belen finds an old uniform belonging to the German woman's late husband and discovers he was an SS officer during World War II. She also finds canned food in a drawer, but it has spoiled. Despite this, she tries to eat it and washes the taste out with the rusty water from the sink, which is barely drinkable but enough to survive for now. Adrien, believing Belen truly left him, watches her goodbye video one last time and says, "All the best," before moving on. Later, as Adrien goes to the bathroom, Belen hits the pipes in frustration and notices the water in the sink moves when she strikes them. She desperately starts banging on the pipes, hoping Adrien will notice the movement in the water, but he doesn't. Left with no other choice, she continues carving into the walls, but her dynamo flashlight breaks, leaving her in complete darkness. One day, Belen hears a noise and approaches the one-way mirror. To her horror, she sees Adrien bringing Fabiana to the house for the first time. Heartbroken, she collapses as she watches them grow closer and eventually have an intimate moment. Unable to escape the sounds coming through the speakers, she retreats to a corner of the room. In the morning, Fabiana starts hearing strange noises from the drain. It's Belen screaming for help. Inside the hidden room, Belen finds a thick metal plate behind the concrete wall, making her escape seem impossible. Desperate, she tries everything to get noticed, even messing with the water temperature while Fabiana is showering. When Fabiana discovers the lost key to the room, Belen starts banging on the mirrors, hoping to get her attention. However, Fabiana ignores the noises, unable to hear her. Later, Adrien gets a call to identify a body, and after he leaves, Fabiana looks in the mirror and smiles, assuming Belen is dead. Curious about the strange occurrences, Fabiana fills the sink with water and notices it moves when she speaks. She tests it further and realizes someone is trying to communicate with her. After asking questions, she confirms it's Belen, trapped behind the walls. Fabiana finds the hidden door and inserts the key, but at the last moment, she hesitates. She decides to keep Belen locked away so she can remain the only woman in Adrien's life. Heartbroken, Belen watches as Fabiana hugs Adrien. Later, Detective Bernardo threatens Adrien, warning him that if anything happens to Fabiana, there will be consequences. Fabiana, now tormented by guilt, starts asking Belen through the pipes if she's okay, but Belen doesn't respond. Consumed by regret, Fabiana moves their belongings to another room so Belen won't see them through the mirrors. Adrien notices and gets upset that Fabiana relocated their room without consulting him. The next morning, Detective Bernardo visits Fabiana and shows her photos of Adrien having an affair with the violinist Veronica. Meanwhile, Adrien breaks things off with Veronica at work, unaware of what's happening at home. Devastated, Fabiana decides to free Belen. While Adrien performs at a concert, Fabiana opens the hidden room and enters to wake Belen, who appears to be asleep. Suddenly, Belen wakes up, smashes a bottle over Fabiana's head, knocks her out, and grabs the keys. She escapes the room, locks Fabiana inside, and leaves the key in the bedroom for Adrien to find. Before leaving, Belen places a photo of herself and Adrien on the mirror as a final message. In the final scene, Belen is shown sitting peacefully on a beach, finally free and at peace.
And that's the end of the story. I hope you liked it. Comment down below what movies do you like us to recap next. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time.